So I bring greetings from ILBS. I'll start from some basics, but that might put things in perspective. We know that liver is a very vital gland, works as an organ for metabolic functions. I want to add to this that all our clotting factors, iron, metabolism, all that is controlled by liver. But most important, blood glucose regulation is through liver. Pancreas makes, liver monitors. Liver controls the energy balance. Today, just an hour ago, I saw a lady, she's lean and thin, but had gallstones when she was young. Her mother had gallstones, and her daughter has gallstone who's very young. I'll come to it just to tell you all these people had high cholesterol and high triglycerides. Liver and the bile controls your cholesterol and triglyceride metabolism. What damages liver? Viruses, Hep B, Hep C, Hep E, all this. We all know about alcohol and fat. This is a normal liver which has less than 5% fat. If the fat becomes more than 10%, the liver is whiter, it is enlarged, and both calories and your genes play the main role. Now, this is an ultrasound. This is the skin of the abdomen. This is the underlying fat, which is white. This is kidney and this is liver. You will see that liver is more like fat, whiter with rounded margins. Liver is also whiter than spleen. So spleen and liver are brother, sister. They should have same complexion. Liver is whiter, it has fat. This is to show you, it's not a complicated diagram, but I'll repeat it again and again. This is alcohol, this is fat. When there are excess calories or alcohol injury, liver cells, hepatocytes become ballooned, large, containing fat. And as I said, if it is more than 10% of the cells, it is a fatty liver. Now, what is the relevance of this pure fat in the liver? If it is more than 10%, then the insulin doesn't go into this. And this becomes insulin resistant. So you require more insulin to utilize glucose. More and more insulin is produced, and slowly your pancreas gives up and you get diabetes. It is crude but true. Secondly, there is concentration of excess of cholesterol and triglycerides. So your serum triglyceride, say it is 250 triglyceride. Rest assured, if you get your liver done, biopsy, there will be fat inside. So this is to show you the serum triglyceride and liver triglyceride and cholesterol correlate. And this correlates with your atherosclerosis, heart disease, and stroke. So this is the metabolic component of it. Now, when there are such cells in the liver, 10%, 20%, then the body thinks these are not good, we need to remove them. To remove, you need to kill them. To kill them, you need your innate immune cells, NK cells, macrophages, neutrophils. All of them cause inflammation or a hepatitis. Fat induced hepatitis. Cells die, liver cells die. When liver cells die, you will have a high SGPT or ALT. So the journey starts with fat extra, cells being killed. This is the beginning, and then it goes on. Now there has to be some wound repair. If there is an injury, some fibrosis. And this is setting up with myofibroblast, fibrosis. Gradually it can turn into cirrhosis and liver cancer. So these three stages are fatty liver disease. This is fatty liver, but now it is a diseased liver. Fatty liver is seen in 1/3 of Indian population, like anywhere in the world also. Of them, many can develop disease. But fatty liver disease is 3 times to 5 times more common than diabetes. In fact, as I told you, there will be fat, more insulin, ultimate diabetes. So some will develop diabetes. We believe that type 2 diabetes is a liver disease. This is a very important slide. Here it is the risk of mortality, and here is the SGPT or ALT. About 142,000 health insurance participants in Korea were tested. They were between 35 and 59 years. And ALT was measured, and these patients were followed up for 8 to 10 years. This is the liver-related death and all-cause death. Now, if the SGPT, let's say, is 30 to 39 ALT, liver-related deaths are about 9 times higher. What is normal? Less than 20. In India, we take SGPT or ALT of 40. And you can see that 40 and above, causes of deaths increase. And if your SGPT is like 60 or 80, your causes of deaths are many, many times higher. In fact, if you have a young boy of 25 or 30 and his SGPT is high, 80, you can say there can be many, many cardiac or other events. So ideally, it should be less than 20 as your SGPT. In US, the current trend and approved is SGPT is less than 30. ALT is less than 30 for males, and for females less than 90. This is the same we follow at ILBS, but all over India, the standard is 40. I told you, lower the better. Now, a high ALT predisposes to diabetes. This is the Framingham study, third generation. It started in 40s, then their children, then their children. So if in the childhood, young age, ALT levels are higher, this guy is likely to develop diabetes. Risk is 5 to 20 times. I have therefore tried to show you that fatty liver is the core to development of diabetes or its complications. Cerebrovascular diseases, hypertension, atherosclerosis. I have not shown you, but there is ample data that chronic kidney disease, polycystic ovary syndrome, sleep apnea, osteoporosis, and several cancers are because of fat. Why? Extreme insulin resistance. Insulin resistance leads to inflammation. Of course, I have shown you raised ALT can lead to fatty liver disease and cirrhosis. Now, there are reports COVID is more severe in NAFLD. It is the biggest comorbidity. There was a data a few weeks ago, endocrinology, Lancet Endocrinology, that those who have a BMI above 25 have more COVID-related things. Let's look at this data. This was published by several groups, including ours, that comorbidities, all comorbidities put together, risk is 6.3 times. But NAFLD alone is 6.4 times. Age, you say, oh yeah, above 45, more. Males, maybe more. But remember, most important is fat. Why is it so? Because fat causes intense cytokine release. Pathogenesis of fatty liver disease. In very simple terms, for everyone, what you eat gets absorbed and from the intestine goes to liver by portal blood. This, if it is in extra, your adipose tissue will store it. You have few days of parties and you gain weight. And the remaining will come back to liver. You still maintain between liver and your adipose tissue a healthy relation. But if you exceed this, every day you go on to add calories, then finally it will lead to accumulation into blood vessels and other organs. Your buffer is finished. Let's look at the second scenario. The second scenario is you eat, it goes to liver, But your adipose tissue is bad, unhealthy. You are not moving, you're sitting there all the time. No exercise, and you have genetic problems. With this defective, everything will go back to liver. So you have a lean and thin guy, and he has a liver problem, fatty liver. He also has blood pressure. He also has other problems. तो लोग कहेंगे साहब पतला दुबला था, फिर भी साहब पता नहीं 30 साल में मर गया. So excess calories will go to several areas where they should not go, like your subcutaneous, visceral, or retroperitoneal fat. Liver, muscles, pancreas, blood vessels. Anywhere if it is more than 5%, it is bad. Your muscle has 6%, you start having insulin resistance. It has 8 or 10% cardiac events. So intramuscular adipose tissue is bad. Same is true for all organs. Now there are three types of people. One, where there is very limited genetic predisposition. So he is a guy who has obese, but father, mother were okay. This is the first time. He has metabolic syndrome, he has blood pressure, diabetes, but parents were okay. So everything is by the environment. There is a second person, as I told you today, I saw the lady was lean and thin, but 2 generations had genetic predisposition. Very little of environmental changes and the problems will continue. So people will say, कि साहब ये तो कुछ भी ज़्यादा नहीं था, but you have to go back to your family, and these are known as FTO genes, fat obesity related genes. Let me further simplify this for you. In Asia, BMI of less than 23 is considered normal weight. So somebody has weight which is, between 18 to 23, so it's healthy. But some people with the same weight can have metabolically unhealthy adipose tissue. So now you have 2 types of people, healthy and metabolically unhealthy. Weight is same. Same will be true for obese. You have somebody who is obese, above 30 BMI, but metabolically healthy. He is the first generation. But here he can also become unhealthy. So every obese is not bad, every lean is not good. How do we diagnose? If you do just SGPT, this is for diabetic and for general population. You will see in general population 10%, 15% may have high SGPT, diabetics 20%. When you go on to what is known as FibroScan, you will find about 70-75% of diabetics have fatty liver. In fact, it should be 100%, but our pickups are poor. General population 40%. So what are our different methods? Simple ALT, a CT, an ultrasound, FibroScan, or MRI. I have shown you this picture before. Fat underneath the abdominal skin and fatty liver. This is a CT, spleen and liver. Liver is darker. You have several areas, you compare them to the spleen. So this is important. When we are taking a person for donation of liver for a living organ transplant, then we do the non-contrast CT and we compare this to this. If this is 10 Hensfield unit different, we will say, no, he has fatty liver. This is a simple FibroScan, which is a low frequency ultrasound. Now this is controlled attenuation parameter. So an ultrasound wave goes into the liver 4 centimeters down and comes back. Now the more the fat, the more the sound is attenuated, and this is cap value. More attenuated, higher values. Anything less than 250, this person has reasonably low fat. 300 means 33% of the liver may have fat. Now this is the time in milliseconds. 60 milliseconds would be normal, means the sound takes longer to come back. If the sound takes less time, the liver is harder. Let's see here, 40 milliseconds, sound comes back. This is stage 2 fibrosis, 8.5. Anything less than 6 is good. So how do I say this fellow has fatty liver disease and whom should I refer? The first thing is, please change your approach. An ultrasound guy says fatty liver, he must refer. So what approach is not acceptable? A liver fat, I have tried to convince you, is an alarm for your body. Get up. You have to train your barbers. You go for a haircut, you have this black velvety line, Acanthosis nigricans with these warts, he has metabolic syndrome. The barber can say, "Bhai, aap dikha lo doctor ko." Then your waist. For a male, less than 90. For a female, less than 80. You have to teach your tailor, don't fit jeans onto people. Tell them, fit into the jeans. Am I having a fatty liver? And this can be done down to the village. As I tried to show you earlier, family history, or yourself you are suffering. Metabolic syndrome, diabetes, blood pressure, heart or kidney disease, liver disease, gallstones, cancers, obesity, and you're snoring. If your wife says or husband says you're snoring, take it seriously, don't ignore. What should be my weight? Height minus 100. You're 170 centimeters, you should weigh 70 kg. For a female, 105, 65 kg. If you have a family history, another 5 kg down. Ultrasound, abdomen and a fibroscan can help you, and simple blood test, very free, ALT, lipids and sugar. These are the new terms, metabolic associated fatty liver disease. This term is coming up. So now it is very simple. How do you find fat in the liver? All diabetics have fatty liver. All overweight or obese have fatty liver. So you don't have to screen, you consider, bhai, tumhe to hoega hi. Now comes the question of lean and normal weight. Is your lean normal weight healthy or not? Then the waist, blood pressure, serum triglycerides or HDL, other things will come into play. So whom to screen? Of course, you will screen for fatty liver, these categories, and lean or normal weight with 2 metabolic risk factors. One more time, fatty liver is the core for development of these. I want to stress this, and this may be relevant for Bhatinda. Many young girls, they have overgrowth of hair on the face. They are taller than their other. They are overgrown. They get puberty faster. Polycystic ovary is growing very fast. So if you have a family where there are such conditions, parents have it, fatty liver, please warn their children. We need to detect NAFLD, and I hope you will join me in accepting if 30% of our population has it, we need to tell them. India is amongst the first country in the world to integrate NAFLD into non-communicable diseases. I thank the government of India, Dr. Harshvardhan, all the teams to have made this possible, and Dr. Swasti, Dr. Sudhir, and everyone to create these beautiful guidelines. We need a global consortium all over the world. The country has Fit India, Yoga, Eat Right. I'm not going into details, but when and what to eat, kya khaएं, kab khaएं. It is so important that I can't over-stress. I'm just giving you very, very new data. If you give your newborn in first 1 month feeds in the night, do not stop it, the child may get fatty liver. If in the first year of life, you give juice 2 times a day versus 1 time a day, the child will get fatty liver by the age of 5 years. We need to therefore go down to schools, educate them, and tell them the relevance of not eating rather than eating. We have to take these steps. Red means 30% of your population has fat. And this is from one of the nature reviews. India comes into 30 or more, 170 million of the people. And we therefore have to work hard. 1 decade from now, 2031, if we all work hard, we may decrease non-communicable diseases, heart, brain, kidney. So I would like Bhatinda to help us and develop us into a very good program. I won't take more time. Just to say, please join in making a healthy India through a very healthy liver. With this, I want to once more time thank Dr. Singh and Dr. Bholanath and the entire team for allowing us to share this concept, and I hope through you and your faculty members this will become something of an educational and academic exercise. We'll be very happy if any surveys, any other collaborative work can be taken up, and maybe Ankita or such young faculty with Manya 10 years down the line can say, look, we started, we made a difference. Thank you all.